From the tax side, I think that in some ways, taxes having been such a vocal part of the campaign that recently ended is in some ways sort of a benefit and a curse as far as trying to ascertain or guess where we may be going on the tax side. There are 3 or 4 issues which are very clearly going to be on the table very, very quickly, and which I think we can make reasonable assumptions with regard to how they're going to come out. Certainly it was mentioned earlier that Congress is going to be going back into lame duck session next week. And we'll be talking about stimulus. It seems now I think they're more likely to be talking about General Motors than they are about any particular tax changes, if for no other reason than the politics that currently exists makes it difficult for the Congress for the Democrats, let's say, to move the kind of legislative changes that were talked about in the campaign. And it will be much easier, although not automatic, for them to move those changes forward when they come back in January. So I think that pretty much the common guess on where that goes is that in January or February, as part of the stimulus bill, we will see the so-called, the $500 credit that President-elect Obama discussed in the campaign, $500 for singles, $1,000 for married couples, essentially a rebate of the employee's part of the employment taxes on the first about $8,000 of income. And that now seems a very, very odds-on favorite to be included in the legislation early on in 2009. The open question is whether the other well-discussed piece from the campaign, which is the increase in both the dividend and the capital gains rate, as well as the rate on the highest rate applicable to ordinary income of individuals, will go up at the same time. And the campaign clearly made clear that it was in their mind that part and parcel of this package would be an increase in those rates back to the level that obtained prior to 2001. And the point at which that change would take place has been mentioned as being the same point that was in place at 2001, which was $250,000 on the joint return. Will that happen at the same time as the stimulus package? It might. There certainly, I think, will be consideration of doing it at that time. But by no means is that a certain deal. And it may well be that given the current financial situation, the idea that the legislation that will involve taxes as well as a number of other things in the late winter or early spring is intended to be more stimulative than it is to necessarily bring a reordering to the individual tax system. It may be that there will be a deferral of that increase in the rates. Does that answer the question that several of you are probably wanting to know, which is, to the extent I still have any gains, should I churn them by 12/31? I'm afraid the answer to that is we really don't know. If you still have gains and you absolutely have to have them at 15%, yes, you might think about going ahead and doing that. Because certainly increases are going to be on the table, and they're going to be on the table early in the year.